So this is a pepper that I just got from Nathan Brady. And when I got my box of peppers from him, he said there's quite a few crosses in there. So he said he would label them with the mother plant that he's positive on, and not sure what the other parent is for the cross. So I said, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? We can still review those, talk about them. So this is off of an orange Reaper. Excuse me, orange Reaper. Scorpion's on my mind as possibly the other cross to it, just based on the phenotype, the way it looks. So yeah, but it's yellow. There's a little bit of orangeness in there. Beautiful pepper though. It's a big guy too. I weighed this guy 15 grams, so it's pretty dense. I've had other pods in that 15-gram range that were bigger than this, as far as the overall size and shape of the pepper. So this is pretty dense, so I'm sure this is probably going to have a pretty thick wall and a nice placenta in there. Let's give it a run and see what we got. I don't know if I've ever had an actual true orange Reaper before, but shout out to Nathan for this. Let's give it a shot. It's a beautiful pepper. Cheers, friends. It is a fairly thick-walled pepper. Definitely got some water weight to it. Fruity, got a little bit of sweetness. Very good tasting pepper. Really nice. Scotch bonnet maybe cross. A lot of seeds. Decent sized placenta in there, like I thought. I think the weight on this is a big placenta. It's a fairly thick walled pepper, but it's also holding some water weight, like I said. Slight Chinense flavor there, right in the placenta. A lot of seeds. It's got snacking pepper flavor, but a jump or two higher in heat, so it's a little bit hotter for an everyday snacking pepper, but it has that kind of flavor profile, which is really nice. This pepper would pair well with steak, a salad obviously, a white pasta. That was a nice one for the birds today. Good pepper. Heat's rising. 85% of the heat in that pepper is all up in the placenta, which makes sense, but sometimes you get a little more diversity in some peppers where even lower on the pepper toward the tail end of it with no placenta, still going to be pretty hot. This one not as much. It's almost all concentrated right up at the top there. Seeds stuck here. Good pepper. Wow, really nice. The heat's starting to climb still a little bit. Can feel it mostly on the outer lip, and underneath the tongue is sizzling pretty good. You know, I think that crossed with a lower end heat pepper for sure, because the heat and the burn profile is nothing like a Reaper. It's hot. It's slightly above possibly a habanero. It's kind of your average garden ghost pepper level heat is kind of what I'm feeling. Maybe a little bit less than that. But overall, beautiful yellow pod with some slight orange hue to it. Good size, really nice size. Good flavor. Great flavor on that. Like I said, it was just fruity throughout. A little bit of sweetness in there, and a good burn. My noses, both nostrils are starting to run down a little bit. This side started a little bit long, quite a bit ago, but I'm starting to feel a little bit on this side now as well. It's hard to see because we got good sunlight today, but eyes aren't super glossy. A little bit, but they're not real watery. A little bit of perspiration, you know, but a lot of that is I'm in the direct sunlight with a little bit of my awning kind of covering that, and good old trees giving me a little shade as well. But great pepper, very nice. It's one of the bigger pods in the box that he sent, so I knew I had to sample that. Starting to feel it in the top of the stomach now a little bit, but not too bad. It's really nice. Anyways, what is today? June 7th, Saturday. Hope everybody's got a good start to the weekend. I had to take yesterday off, so I got a little 3-day weekend, so that'll be nice. I need a little extra rest. Getting hot out here. I think we're in the low 90s all next week, which is not bad. Upper 80s, I think, today and tomorrow. Anyways, I'm gonna kill the video. This heat isn't really climbing anywhere. But again, a good front of the mouth burn. Lip definitely on fire. Underneath the tongue and the gum area is mostly where I'm feeling it, with a little bit going back to the throat, but it's really just when I swallow. because it is creating that saliva that has some oils, you know, still in the mouth. And so when you create that saliva, swallow it back, you know, like just then I can feel it, but it dissipates pretty quick. So not much more going on in the burn. So cheers, friends. Appreciate you watching, and thanks for burning. I'll see you later.